Thing about life-changing moments is that they never announce themselves. They sneak up quietly, hidden inside throwaway comments, casual laughs, or the unexpected glint in someone's eyes. That morning, I had no idea my life was about to shift completely. I thought I was just strapping my bike onto the back of a rusty old van. I didn't know a single joke was about to turn into the most unforgettable journey of my life. My name's Jack Carter. I'm 26, a graphic designer working remotely from a tiny cottage in a sleepy Oregon town. The kind of place where nothing really happens unless you count the county fair or the occasional runaway goat. My life was fine, comfortable even, but under the surface, there was always this restless hum. Ever since I was a kid, I'd dreamed about hitting the open road in a camper van, exploring America mile by mile. A few months back, I found her, an old 1980 Chevy van, dented, rusty, but full of character. I named her Freedom's Call and spent every free moment fixing her up. Bed in the back, tiny stove, solar panels, the works. My friends thought I'd lost it, but I didn't care. This wasn't just a vehicle, it was the key to a dream I'd been holding onto for years. The morning I was set to leave, the sun was barely up, painting the street in soft gold. That's when I heard her voice. Big adventure ahead. I turned to see Laura Bennett, my neighbor across the street. 42, tall, with long, dark hair that always caught the light just right. She had that effortless beauty some women carry without even trying, and a quiet strength in the way she moved. I knew she'd gone through a rough divorce, but beyond polite waves over the mailbox, we'd never really talked. Yeah, I said, wiping sweat from my forehead. Finally doing it, hitting the road, seeing the country. Laura stepped closer, eyes scanning the van with a little smile. Not everyone has the guts to chase a dream like that. Her words hit harder than they should have. I don't know why, but I blurted out, if you were my age, I'd take you with me. It was meant to be a joke. But Laura tilted her head, that smile deepening into something almost daring. What are we waiting for? She said. I froze. Wait, what? I'm serious, Jack, she laughed, warm and unshaken. I've got nothing tying me here. I haven't done anything spontaneous in years. If you'll have me, I'm in. I searched her face for any sign she was kidding. Nothing but sincerity in her eyes. My heart started pounding for reasons that had nothing to do with the road trip. Well, I said slowly, go pack then. 30 minutes later, she reappeared with a small suitcase, wearing jeans, sneakers, and a leather jacket that made her look like she belonged on the cover of a travel magazine. I opened the passenger door and she climbed in without hesitation. The engine rumbled to life, and just like that, two neighbors, practically strangers, were on the road together. The first few miles were filled with an easy quiet. Oregon's forests rolled past the windows, sunlight flickering through the leaves. I kept stealing glances at her. Laura's hair shimmered in the light, her eyes fixed on the horizon. I expected her to change her mind, but she never did. So, she finally said, where to first? I grinned. The classics, Grand Canyon, Monument Valley, maybe Route 66. Loose plan. Just follow the road. She smiled like that was exactly the answer she wanted. We stopped often, quirky gas stations, roadside attractions, diners with waitresses who called us hun. Laura's enthusiasm was contagious. She'd laugh at my terrible jokes, tease me when I missed a turn, and point out every odd sign or strange landmark. By nightfall, we pulled into a quiet campground outside Reno. This is home for tonight, I said, opening the back doors. It wasn't much, a mattress, some curtains for privacy, but Laura's eyes lit up. I love it. I insisted she take the bed while I slept in the driver's seat. She laughed, shaking her head. You're ridiculous, Jack. But she let it go. That night, I fell asleep sore but strangely content. The days blurred into a rhythm of highways, campfires, and shared laughter. She'd cook breakfast on the tiny stove, hum softly while I drove, and navigate with surprising precision using an old paper map. Somewhere in Arizona, under a sky painted orange and gold, Laura sighed. I haven't felt this alive in years, she said quietly. I looked at her in the fading light, my chest tightening. I didn't have words for what I was feeling, so I just smiled. At Yellowstone, The cold bit at our cheeks. When I tried to take the driver's seat again for the night, she stopped me. It's freezing. Stop being stubborn, share the bed. We're adults, she said. Her voice was calm, her trust unshakable. I climbed in, careful to keep a respectful distance, but the quiet between us felt different. Warmer. Weeks passed, Bryce Canyon spires, the sweeping curves of Antelope Canyon, the Pacific Coast highways crashing waves. We were no longer just traveling, we were building something unspoken, moment by moment. One night, parked at a remote overlook, we shared cheap wine from paper cups. Laura's voice was softer than I'd ever heard it. After my divorce, I thought I'd never feel excited about life again. I looked at her in the moonlight. You've made this the best adventure of my life. Her hand found mine, and without thinking, I leaned in. The kiss was gentle, inevitable. By the time we rolled back into our street, we'd driven thousands of miles. I cut the engine and she hesitated. Do you want me to grab my bag? She asked. You could stay, I said, my voice low. She smiled. I was hoping you'd say that. That night, we ate pizza on my living room floor, her suitcase by the door but untouched. Over the weeks that followed, our lives blended, some nights at her place, most at mine. Freedom's call stayed parked outside, ready for the next escape. One Sunday, we spread the map out on the table. Montana next, she asked. I grinned. Montana's perfect. She kissed me, her voice barely above a whisper. I never expected us. Me either, I said. But I wouldn't change a thing. The next morning, I stood on the porch with my coffee, looking at her empty house across the street. She wasn't there, she was in our bed, sleeping. The van waited in the driveway, the horizon calling us again. And I smiled to myself, knowing the answer to the question that started it all.